Hi everybody. It's Diane Holmes. I'm the Miracy Evangelist, and I'm also a course creator. And that's what I've been doing. I've been creating a new course. I just launched my pilot, and so I'm going to be talking with you because there was some interest in learning about sales pages and what I had done for my sales page, just sort of like one course creator to another. So this is an overview of what's going on with my sales page, and I hope it's really helpful for you. And then I'm going to create another video for you that actually goes through and looks at the specific content and here's what it says, here's what it's doing, and it's doing this, it's doing this, it's doing this, and then I'm going to pause and also tell you how you can apply it to your niche. But I wanted to give you an overview of like the concepts in a sales letter. So that you could, at least get that, depending on your interest in, creating a sales page for your course. So my course is Damn Good Webinar, and I've been the Miracy Evangelist, and I have been delivering webinars and workshops to thousands and thousands of course creators, and I really fell in love with doing these teaching, selling webinars, these marketing webinars, right? And so I decided to switch my focus from teaching fiction writers the craft of writing to teaching entrepreneurs, and course creators and coaches and healers and, like just service providers, everybody. If you want one of these webinars, how do you do it? Because there's a trick to it, especially if you want to do it at the level that isn't really being offered in courses out there. There's a lot of advice that's meant for people to apply it no matter what your course is. But like what the big guys are really doing is they're writing something very specific, and they're writing it for a specific author and a specific audience. And so that's actually what I do and I teach. So that's a little bit overview of the offer. And so obviously I need to get that across on a sales page, and a lot more. I need to be able to communicate with an audience exactly where they are, but a very specific audience, right? People need to, the right people, right? The people who are right for my course, who I would love to work with. They need to recognize themselves and say, that's what I think. Yes, this is what I need. And I need to take them through all of that on a sales page. So this is a long form sales page, which means, basically what you think it means. It means it's long. and and so the first thing that you do is you have to do something to grab their attention, to make them want to read, and to let them know why they're on the page, and that if they're interested in this, they're really in the right place. And so that's what I'm doing at this very beginning. And I tell you more in the next video about how many iterations of sales pages and stuff I went through, but it was a lot. So this is what I finally came up with, just this very clear message of you created an amazing offer. Now you want a webinar to sell it, right? But there's a problem. So one of the things you'll notice is that it's very conversational. And so anyway, so I start with here's what you want, but there's a problem, right? And I tackle right away, the problem that they have. So, and you want to be specific about that. And so the main problem that I'm doing here is it's intimidating and things can go wrong. And so in other words, my perfect client is not the one who, you know, doesn't even know they want a webinar. My people already know they want a webinar. I don't have to sell that. And so I'm jumping in where they are. And then I start, offering hope and creating a relationship with them. Um, and right about here is as soon as I start mentioning you simply must have expert karate chops, which is a way of saying, a cool, kind of quirky way of saying you must have expert skills. I actually start teaching. And so the bulk of this page is actually teaching them what they need to know in order to really get what's involved and to know they can trust me and that I'm a good teacher and all of those things. And so all of this that you see here is teaching, but it's also solving several other issues. So this is actually saying, this is what you want. Um, So if they want this, obviously they're going to keep reading. But the other thing is, I'm also telling them what's possible. What's possible in a webinar. I make it really personal. I've got, you'll notice that I have buttons throughout. The first buttons actually take you further down the page where you can read closer to the price point. But the buttons that are down at the price point, obviously, like you're ready to buy. So it would go to, you can give me money now. Um, I actually tell them what it is I'm going to help them with, and you start making promises, right? And so what you're doing is you're juggling education, including testimonials, which is a form of education, and the promises that you're making, and that's what you're running through all of this. All the way down. That's at a very high level. That's exactly what I'm doing. And, I'm telling them more about me, but you notice I place it further down so that it also ends up acting as education because who am I who I can pull off all of this? Let me teach you who I am, right? Um, so anyway, I go into detail about all of this, and then I get to the point where, okay, now that I've done all the teaching necessary for you to be ready to buy, then here's all the information I'm going to give you to buy, right? You need to know what the offer is. You need to know what's inside, and so I give them everything that's inside. You need to know, what the price point is and why you should appreciate the price, and then what the guarantee is, because those are the three components, right, of an offer, as well as what is the support. And there's a ton of support. So it's support, content, guarantee, and price. Those are the things you need to cover. And then I end up down here, there's a frequently asked questions, as well as testimonials. So anyway, that's the overall structure of it. And so I'm going to go into detail about how you really level up, especially in the education pieces, so that you can apply them to yourself. But if you're wondering what the overall structure of a sales page is, it is hook them, meet them exactly where they are, introduce the problems and the things that they're, like their problem language, and start educating them, but educating them in a way that is still very conversational, meeting them where they are and talking about um, sort of like where the problems are and where the hope is, where the problems are and where the hope is, why you're the ones who understand the problems and understand the hope, and you can deliver that. And once you can pull all of that together, it's going to be a really powerful page. If you want to check out my page, it's damngoodwebinar.com, right? And and if it turns out that you want to learn webinars, obviously I'd be super happy to have you in the course. I would love that. And if you know if you have any ideas of where I can share this, and who would be interested, one course creator to another, please, let me know, because my goal is to fill my pilot and to really validate that I'm on the right track, that people actually want this, and that I can get them inside this course and then do really good work for them and teach them and educate them. So anyway, I hope this is helpful, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.